And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, July 12th, 2014. This is Season 8, Episode 28. I'm Scott.
I'm Dennis.
I'm ArJay.
And there's...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It wasn't giving me the sound like it usually did, sorry. My bad. And I'm Nathan.
It's been a while.
He goes away one day, he misses one episode.
My brother-in-law was trying to connect to Twitch and it wasn't letting him.
Oh. You know, I had an interest. I tried to connect to Twitch earlier so that the way we've got it set up in the studio here is that this computer that I'm pointing at, and nobody on the radio can see what I'm doing, is mirrored on the other two screens, so ArJay and Dennis and them can see stuff, and whoever's sitting over there, they can see the chat room at all times if they need to. And I tried to log in for us so that they could see that, and it wasn't letting me log in. It was having an issue. Although, of course, Evo is going on, so that likely could...
Twitch might just have a little bit of a load going on.
Bit of a hiccup today. Anyway, if you'd like to get in touch with us, if you'd like to talk to Nate, if you'd like to, keep him on his toes, go right ahead. Call. Our phone number is 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228. We'd love to hear from you. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook with InGameChat. Basically, just search that and you can find us anywhere. You can email us, and we've gotten a few emails, and we need to go over some of those emails. Although I like it when we have a full group to go over those emails, especially when it talks about older games that I'm not familiar with, but someone like James or even Matt would be familiar with. But you can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming the cam feed right now, as we said, through Twitch. Head over to twitch.tv in your browser and search for In-Game Chat, and you will find us. Like I said, In-Game Chat is the keyword. You can find us everywhere. You can join us in the chat room there. We've got lots of people in the chat room joining us right now. And you can join them and essentially join us, and you can talk to us as the show's going along. You can tell us hey, stop talking about that stupid thing and talk about what I want to talk about, and more than likely we'll do it. So why not join the chat room and direct the show how you would like it to go? Because we really have no idea what we're going to be talking about. We've got a long list of things that we could talk about, a huge list of things. But as we always do, opening the show, let's talk about what we've been playing. I'll go first because I can't talk about what I've been playing because other people haven't finished the game that I played.
Okay, it's not NDA the game then?
No.
Nothing like that?
No. I don't have anything like that.
That's usually what it is whenever you say, I can't talk about what I'm playing.
No, I can't talk about it because it's The Wolf Among Us.
Ah, okay.
And that's the final episode of Wolf Among Us Season 1 anyway. And I can't talk about it because you haven't finished it. ArJay hasn't finished it.
Not yet.
I don't know if Nate's playing it. I don't even know if are you playing that at all? Or have you?
No, I've never played them at all.
Okay.
I'll wait till it's cheap like the first season of Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. I can't talk about it. Anyway, I played Wolf Among Us. Let's see. Can I say if I liked it or not? I did. The episode felt short. The episode is very... It was interesting the way that they did it, and I do want to talk about it, but it's very conversational. Mm-hmm. There's a good mix of like action and a long stretch of talking.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. The action part of it is whatever. They didn't really do anything different there. The conversation part wasn't very different, but the way that they were doing it has not been done in Walking Dead yet that I am aware of, or in previous episodes of Wolf Among Us. Mm-hmm. So you'll know about it when you get there, and people who have been there may be scratching their heads what I'm talking about because I suck at trying to explain myself.
That's a very interesting ambiguity.
I'm trying, I'm trying not to spoil anything. I'm trying not to give any kind of hint or amount of away. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. We'll go over to ArJay. What have you been up to?
Basically, more Street Fighter playing, and played a little bit of Dead or Alive 5. They had a new character come out, Phase 4, a clone of Kasumi. So I started working on that and seeing what she was capable of. So some more fighters and looking at Evo more than anything else.
Dennis, what about you?
I've been playing a game called Betrayer, which is by a group of developers who worked on Fear and No One Lives Forever. Colonial first-person, I guess, shooter.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
it's
the
all
black and white.
It's
with,
all in black and white with red
coloring.
Yeah,
yeah. it doesn't hold your hand at all. It pretty much just throws you into the world and it's like, okay, figure it out. And it's not quite as punishing as Dark Souls, or you can at least set it so like you don't lose your stuff when you get killed or knocked unconscious or whatever it is in the game. But it was very much not a hand-holding game at all, and doesn't tell you anything about what you're even supposed to do, really. You just kind of have to figure it out. Aside from that, I've also been playing a lot of Talisman, which I got on Steam.
Yeah, I've seen you on there playing.
Yeah, doesn't matter if there's not a million pieces set up, it still takes about 2 hours to play a game of that, and it's worth every minute. But I've been enjoying that a lot.
And Nathan, over to you. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been
a minute.
Yeah, it is.
As James would say. What have you been playing?
Actually, the week I was gone, I had Blacklight Retribution on PlayStation 4 officially released. It wasn't on beta, which is a free-to-play game.
I was going to say that's free to play.
And I had played it way back on PC, and I had played it in the beta on PS4, which it was pretty laggy. You would kill someone, and then that kill didn't count, and then you were dead. So I was like, all right, I heard people said it was pretty good, so I went and tried it, and it's very good. If you have a PS4, it's free. I highly recommend it if you want to play a shoot-'em-up game.
PS4's got a lot of free titles on there that you can actually play. A lot of free-to-play.
It does, and it's quite fun. Yeah, I would try that out. And then also, like we talked, I am now up to level 5, you said? That is the 5th level?
That is I believe that's Mission 5, yes.
Yeah, I believe so too, yeah. So that's where I'm at now, and I'll probably try to beat that tomorrow or Monday, one of them. But yeah, I've been enjoying that, and then also been playing the Heroes of the Storm game, the Blizzard MOBA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just, waiting for Last of Us on PS4.
You haven't experienced it, have you?
I went to my friend's house. He had rented it, and we played half of the first season of like the first, what is it? Summer is the first one, or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, we played half of that. So that's all I've.
Why did you get through half? What happened? What was the deal?
We fell asleep.
Says a lot for the game, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it was like 4 a.m. and we had put it on the hardest setting.
Oh.
We were just playing it that way.
Are you going to do that with this one? Now, the hardest setting. Do you unlock is the hardest setting unlocked from the beginning,
yeah,
or do you have to beat it first?
I believe so. The new hardest.
I think it's called Grounded.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look.
It's the one that removes like your little echolocation stuff or whatever.
Well, they have 3 difficulties on the regular one, but with the new one coming out, they're adding a 4th.
Oh, okay.
And they said the AI is even smarter now that they were able to implement more. So they said it's harder than new hard.
It's harder than. Okay.
Yeah. It's even harder now. So I don't think I'm gonna. I'll probably just play it on the one where you don't have your radar.
And we talked a little bit about it last week, just towards the end of the episode, because I'm jumping into it. I'm renting it. I've got it in my GameFly queue because I didn't experience the multiplayer the first time around. So I'm hoping there'll be that resurgence of the multiplayer on this time around. I mean, I've already gone through the story, the DLC as well, since that's included. I'll be playing. I did not play the DLC. I'm hoping you didn't either, since you didn't finish the game. But that's something that I want to get into is jumping the multiplayer.
And school starts, I think, like the 12th or 13th, so I have like a week and a half, 2 weeks to just grind it out and beat it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's coming up, and there's not very many games that are due out. We got the Destiny beta that's on the way.
Yes.
Are you in that?
Yeah, I had pre-ordered it a long time ago, and then I went ahead and pre-ordered the limited edition.
See, okay.
I got that one.
I got the Ghost edition.
Oh,
jeez.
Are you serious?
Look, it's on Amazon, so they haven't charged me yet. So I have time to kill it if I want.
I didn't want my own personal dinklage.
Geez, Scott's gonna be up here whipping out his dinklage all the time.
Yeah. Guys, it talks. Just press it. Press my dinklage. There.
Well, hey, if you do end up getting it, we can compare them on the show.
Are you getting a dinklage?
No, I'm getting the limited edition. But I'm saying that you can compare the Ghost edition to the limited edition. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing.
They're the same thing, except I get a dinklage and you don't. That's it. Seriously, they are the same thing.
Yeah.
With the exception of like the box that it all comes in.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. And the price tag.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't justify the
You
extra
get
$50.
you get the Ghost Edition comes with a few extra feelies as well, just a few little things in the box as well.
Oh, feelies. Okay, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like little physical objects or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. No, the interesting thing was I saw when that was announced, and this was on Monday, I think, because it was Bungie Day, 7/7.
Yes, it was.
And so I saw it announced, and so I go to my cart at Amazon, or I go to Amazon and I look for it, and there it is, and I'm like, add to cart. And then I go to my cart, and there in my cart is the Dinklage Edition.
That's what the name is now.
I'm calling it that. The Dinklage Edition.
Official.
And then also in the cart is my white PS4 with a Destiny game attached to it. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, I got to sell one. And then I had to scrounge around to see if what comes in that Destiny package is a physical game disc or is it a download code or something like that. I really hope it's a physical copy of the disc, but no one knows at this point. But people who bought bundles from the launch systems, like the Killzone bundle and that sort of thing, came with a physical disc box copy of the game. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on those. But, Amazon, of course, has that policy that they will not charge your card until it's shipped, which this is a wonderful thing. I wish more pre-orders did this. This is beautiful. I love it. So I do that, and then, 4 hours later, I check back, and it's not available on Amazon anymore. It's gone.
But that same day when they had come up, I saw it and I was like, let me check out the Ghost. And by the time I had pulled it up, it was sold out.
Yeah.
So
this is PS4 edition that we're talking about.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, let me check out. Well, at first I had checked out all the systems to see, and at the time, PS4 and PS3s were both sold out. They still had Xbox One and Xbox 360. Then I was like, okay, so I started reading what's the differences, and I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and do the limited edition. I didn't really want the Dinklage. So, then like 2 hours later, I checked back, and almost all the Ghosts were sold out on every console, and then I think all they had left was the 360's limited edition.
Yeah.
Everything was sold out.
Exactly. It went fast, and I was amazed, and it kind of I felt good about doing what I did, even though it hasn't charged me yet, and I can always back out because that's a huge bunch of money that's going to be hitting on September 9th.
$150
plus a system.
Yes, that's right. You're getting the
plus $450.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Spending $6 in September.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, because Nate has found somebody to buy my PS3. Or PS4, I'm sorry. My PS4. So I'm pretty much going to negate the cost of that system, the PS4. I'm probably going to, wipe clean or maybe lose $100 on it or something like that. But I don't actually know. I'm not. So actually that'll be okay. So it'll be $150 for the Ghost Edition. Then comes my decision to sit on that and say, is this going are people buying these things on eBay or something like that?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to do that until I saw them sell out so fast.
Yeah.
And then I thought, whoa, I've got a copy of this thing already.
Someone had, on a Reddit forum, someone was like, I don't know why you'd spend that, blah, blah, blah. And so someone was like, this is why. And they posted on eBay, it was The Last of Us, the big special edition, unopened.
I still want that so bad. It's the statue thing, right?
And at the time, it had 6 bids, and it was at $700.
Oh, God, I still want that.
I was like, are you kidding me?
It's a gamble.
Yeah, I've got the Uncharted 2 special edition or whatever that Naughty Dog had sent over. It's autographed and everything else. And I remember when Amy sent me that, she said, I better never see this on eBay. I told her you never will, although I did check to see how much it was going for, just to see what those were going for.
Just
and
to peek you.
They're going around $700 to $900 for those things, if you can find somebody that wants to buy them. But that's just not the way I handle those collectibles.
Yeah.
I just don't. I want those because I like to have them. Look, I got my Sniper Elite PC disc back this week.
Oh.
I took it with me to E3 and handed it to the Rebellion guys, and I said, hey, is there anybody here who could sign this? They're like, no, we don't have anybody here who worked on that game. They're all back at the studio. But we will take this, and we will have them sign it, and we will send it back to you. So I got it back from them, and I tweeted a picture of it. But, yeah, this is something that I would never put up for sale. It's going to go into a nice little case that sits there for display because I'm just a fan, and I just am not going to sell that stuff.
I know a while back I had looked at...
I say that, and then one day I'm going to, be trying to scrape by because I've made stupid purchasing decisions, like a Ghost Edition for $150, a Dinklage Edition.
I know the original, just the CD key for the original WoW, for you to get like little collector's edition pets that they had done, 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
I know if you have the whole box itself, you can get $2,000. And if you just have the key, it's $1,000.
And this was for the
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
If you go on eBay, like they're up there right now, and people buy them.
Wow.
But I know you can get $2,000 if it's all unopened.
That's wow.
I mean, it's 10 years ago,
I know. I will every now and again. I will go on eBay just to see what kind of game collectibles are going for out there and that sort of thing. And there's never anything that's like. There's very few games that I really want to have of a collectible type nature.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much working on the ones that I've got, which is Burnout. I've got that autograph, Burnout Paradise. I've got that autograph by Criterion. What else do I have? The Sniper Elite, signed by Rebellion. I've got the Naughty Dog stuff. I've got Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Last of Us, all autographed by the team that worked on them. Copies of those games and their special editions, just all autographed. They're in a nice little display. Nothing that I'll ever sell. I'm working on getting my Myst collection autographed for when I go to Seattle in September or August, whatever.
When I go to PAX.
Well, no, because I'm taking it to the studio,
yeah.
And I'm going to have him sign my copies of Myst and Riven that I have, and probably anything else that I can carry with me to get them autographed. So yeah, I think that'll pretty much wrap up all. The only other one I need is Chris. Oh God, what is his name? Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I look it up.
Chris Sawyer is his name. Chris Sawyer. I don't know what he's up to or what he's been doing, but yeah, if I can get some of my copies of Roller Coaster Tycoon signed, I think I will be pretty much all set for my favorites getting autographed and that sort of thing. Because the thing, when you go in there, you see a lot of Halo, you see a lot of Call of Duty, you see a lot of Assassin's Creed. None of those are like in my, hey, I really want to get collectibles of those things. Mm-hmm. So, I've got a full-size Soul Reaver hanging on my wall because I'm a fan of the Legacy of Kain stuff. Mm-hmm. So something else I should get signed is the Legacy of Kain, like the original. Get that signed by Amy. I
don't have anything signed, but I'm been trying to get the original WoW Collector Edition box, but I have all the other expansion packs. I didn't buy them new. I bought them used. People were selling them for like $20, and it came with all the little goodies inside, and I was like, okay, so I have all of those except the original WoW.
Mm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those collectible things. I really, really am. I'm a big fan of, and again, we'll bring them up because we'll bring them up every time we do a show. Retro Game Planet has not just collectibles, but just rarities that are games that are rarities. And I like those as well. Even having them, even if I can't play them, just to like, I got a copy of such and such. So, and they've got them, and they got them priced as they should, man. $100 for that Super Nintendo Link. What was that? What was the Super Nintendo Zelda? Link to the Past?
Yes.
Yeah. They've got that box copy. I think it's $100, maybe $150. I'm not sure. Ooh. But and then they've got games that are even more than that don't come in a box that are still high priced. I think Earthbound on the N64 is one of them.
No, Earthbound's SNES.
Oh, was that SNES?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's what that is. I thought it was an N64 cart, but I can't remember what that was. It was yellow, but I'm not sure. Anyway, enough of me rambling. So, also what I've been doing, as far as this week, it only started last night, and that was watching EVO.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, EVO has been great. Mm-hmm. I love it. I can't believe we didn't even talk about it last week because I didn't even know it was this weekend until we got off. We got off the air, and RJ said, a buddy of mine's going to EVO next weekend, and I was like, oh my God, it's next weekend. My weekend is planned. I know what I'm going to be doing. This is it.
Yep.
So normally, we were going to start streaming games after the show, starting with this episode. With James not being here, I'm bringing in my box to do the streaming, which is also the same box that I do the video editing on and the uploading. And the internet is blazingly fast here for me to do the upload.
Yes, it is.
It takes 20 minutes for something that takes like 4.5 hours at the house. So while the video renders, which is about an hour and a half of rendering, I figured we'd stream games. Why not? I got to be here, so I might as well do something while I'm waiting for this thing to render and finish up. So I figured we would stream games, and we were going to start that this week, but Evo's on. So while that's rendering, we're going to watch Evo. But next week, we're going to stream games. So I invite everybody who is listening, everybody who's in the chat room, to stick around with us next weekend, on the next episode, next Saturday. Stick around after the show's over with, because we're going to fire up the stream, and we're going to play some games. We got the camera to video us while we're playing. I don't know what we're going to play. If Nate wants to bring in his PS4, we can stream that way and do some two-player stuff. I can download, I got Injustice on Steam, do some fighting stuff, and just watch you kill us all. But yeah, there's tons of stuff that we can do. Which, in fact, the audience, even if you're listening on the radio or if you're in the chat room, whatever, email us or tweet us or let us know what you'd like to see us play, what you'd like to see us do as far as streaming. So, I mean, we want to know what you guys want to see us play. So, yeah, give us some suggestions. We would really love to have that and know what you guys would like to see.
Next weekend, the Destiny beta, that can be streamed as well.
We could do some of that. Yeah, well, if you bring in your PS4.
Actually, oh, crap. I'm not going to be here. I have to pick my sister up from the airport.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she, like I said, I have some family members moving down, my sister and brother-in-law, but she starts her job next week, so I'll have to pick her up from the airport.
Great. So you won't be here?
No.
Okay.
But after that, then I would be here. Not that it helps.
Will that be, how long is the beta going through?
It's for PlayStation, it's 17th to the 20th, and then they're doing maintenance, and then I think it's the following week, but let me see when it ends.
We might can get at least one weekend of streaming that in. And I think we can. As far as I know, I'm going to look at the calendar real quick. This is great radio, isn't it, folks? Yeah, as long as it goes through the 26th, we should be good. And Nate's looking that up right now, so he'll tell us. But
until July 27th. Nice.
So not next weekend, but the weekend after. Bring in your PS4, and we'll do some Destiny streaming.
I for sure will.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. All right, now with that out of the way, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about Evo, and we'll talk about anything else you guys want us to talk about. There's some great news as far as, I know the thing that me and James almost instant messaged each other at the same time, and that was the train simulator guys taking over the flight simulator stuff from Microsoft. So we'll go over a little bit of that. There's not much news to tell you. Pretty much that's about as much as you can say about it as far as the details that we know, but we'll go over a little bit of that as well. And also, take your calls if you got them. Give us a call, 334-272-9228. Here is a track called Title and End Credits. You figure out what it is. We'll be right back with more in-game chat in just a moment. And welcome back to more of In-Game Chats. What is this, RJ? You can tell me.
From Bayonetta.
That is correct. Bayonetta, Fly Me to the Moon, which is a very odd version of that song.
No, yeah, a lot of folks I heard thought it was the original.
Oh, gosh. And then when you played the original for them, they thought, this is Yeah, it's like complete opposite.
Yeah, we got the remix. The original is in there too when you beat the game.
Yeah. So, that's Bayonetta. And anyway, going back to what we started talking about before we went to the commercial break, there was Evo 2014 going on in Las Vegas right now. Somebody from Montgomery was actually out there. If you want to, he went to final round, right?
Well, he went to final round. A friend of mine, Maurice Effinger, he's from Auburn, actually. He's from
Auburn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he's from Auburn. He went there to Evo this year to play in the Street Fighter Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament. I think it's his second or third appearance at Evo, but
really, so this is not his first time.
It's not his first time going there, but yeah, this time he went. He got in the pool.
What did he go to play? What did he enter?
He went to go play Ultra Street Fighter 4.
That was it. That's the only one he did.
He went.
So he paid for a complete Vegas hotel, flight, entry into the thing to play one game.
Right, one game.
Which is fine. It's okay.
It's his money.
Well, it's not even just his money. It's like if that's the only thing you're in, I mean, if that's the only skill that you've got in fighting games, is the Street Fighter, then that's the only one you can be in.
Play what you know. Exactly.
Exactly. So it's just that I've seen, as I've been watching, I've seen other people show up in other pools for other systems. So I wasn't sure, or other games. So I wasn't sure if he did multiple games, but just the one.
No, he was in pool A55 for Street Fighter. That was the one that started at 8:00 in the morning.
Yesterday or today?
That was Friday.
Oh yeah, pools were yesterday, and then the semi-quarter and everything.
Semi-quarters and everything like that.
That's
the finals
today.
being Sunday. But yeah, he had the 8:00 in the morning start, which usually has folks show up in their pajamas and or just get real sluggish, or sometimes even not even show up.
I got up this morning and started watching, and it was, I mean, they weren't on, obviously, because they're 2 hours behind us.
Right.
But I watched as they came on, and the crowd, it was empty chairs behind them.
Yeah, some folks weren't even up yet.
It was weird to see that, too, because the night before I'd watched, and it was just full of people.
Right.
And then to get up and watch them, and it's just like, they're going through the motions. They got to go through their stuff. These guys have got to fight. And if opponent doesn't show, is that just forfeit automatically? I would think so. Right?
That's a DQ. You go to the losers bracket.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the guy from Auburn, how'd he do?
Yeah, he got in his pool A55. As I said, it started at 8:00 in the morning. He played through, and he got to play Eita, one of the top Japanese players at Evo. He lost to him, and that put him in the losers bracket. But it
is a double elimination tournament. They have a winners and a losers bracket.
Winners and losers bracket. So they put him in the losers bracket, and that was his one loss. But he qualified out of pools. The top two players in each pool goes on to the semis. So he got there, and
he got to the semis.
He got out of the pool.
Okay,
so he got
gotcha.
to the next round of play.
Okay, gotcha.
Got to the next round of play. From that point, he lost another match. I'm not aware of who he lost to, but he said, according to him, it was basically he missed some inputs on some simple combos, and that cost him the match. And that got him his second loss, and he was out of the tournament.
Well, sad to see him go, but I'm glad he did better than normal.
He did better.
Or than he had used to do. So.
I mean, he made some very good pushes in other tournaments. Kumite in Tennessee, final round, local tournaments in the state. But he did. Getting out of pools is hard enough as it is, but he did a good showing.
Yeah,
he did a good showing.
It's been fascinating to watch. It's the reason. Look, I'd actually planned on us doing some game streaming, but after watching last night and then after watching today with the finals, I was like, no, man. When it's over with, I want to jump back in and start watching more of the stuff, because it's so fascinating to watch. There were some great moments last night where a guy would be down to a sliver of health. Yeah. And then he would make an amazing comeback. I'll tell you what I've seen more of this year than I did last year was running the clock down. Mm-hmm. There's been moments where that clock is getting down to 5, 4, 3, and it's just a tiny bit of health on both players. Mm-hmm. And obviously one of them is trying to get the other guy down below so that when the time runs out, it's whoever's got the most health is the winner of that. And so those have been just insane to watch. You want to talk about some close games, some close calls.
I mean, you look and see, you can't even tell how much, you can't even tell who has a life lead. There's so little difference in between health. You're not sure if you're ahead or if your opponent is ahead or whatnot. You're trying to bait that person into making a mistake, and then you can capitalize on it. I mean, there's a lot of head games going on.
Yeah, well, two of the bigger guys have already been either knocked into the losers bracket already for Street Fighter. Wong has already been knocked out and into the losers bracket. I don't know if he's still in there. And is not Diego, is it?
Daigo Umehara. Yeah.
Right. He is also, I believe, into the losers bracket on Street Fighter as well. I can't. There were some reports last night that he had been knocked out of the tournament already, but those were false. But I believe he already is in the losers bracket already. So there's been some surprises there. Of course, Wong, I did see him pop back up for Killer Instinct this morning when I was watching, and he did a fantastic job with that and got through to the next rounds and stuff like that. So I haven't seen the other guy. What was his name again?
Daigo.
Right. I haven't seen him pop back up yet, but today I watched Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and some Smash Brothers Melee. Watched a couple of those. The Marvel vs. Capcom one was great. Smash Brothers was kind of bored with for a little while just because when you got two monitors, the flashy one's going to win over, and there's a lot of flash with Marvel vs. Capcom.
There's a whole lot
There's
of
a
flash.
ton of flash with that, and so it was winning me over until they started talking again, and then I would flip back over and watch Smash Brothers. But when it got to Injustice, that was really fun to watch. Obviously, characters I'm familiar with when it comes to comic books and that sort of thing, but these were the finals for Injustice. They were doing the finals today for Injustice.
Okay.
And those were wonderful to watch with just your top tiers going at it. I saw two brothers playing each other.
What are the odds, huh?
I know. Two brothers had to play each other, and of course you're going through winners brackets and losers brackets, and one of them had to win, but they took it all the way to, I think it was best 2 out of 3 matches for that. And they took it all the way to having a third match, and that was fun to watch. Then it got down. You had some great moments of the clock running out, or some great moments of somebody making a fantastic comeback.
Yeah.
If you really like to watch competitive gaming, maybe you don't even know if you like to watch competitive gaming, tune in. Go to Twitch. It's on right now. Go to Twitch. It's on the front page of Twitch. Just go to twitch.tv. You'll see it right there. It's the Evo tournaments going on. Just watch it for a little bit and see if it doesn't pull you in. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but it's pulled me in every single time, and that's my day tomorrow.
Yep.
That is my entire day tomorrow. I'll get up before they start, obviously, so I might get some Sniper Elite 3 in. But other than that, I'll be watching Evo. I'll be watching them do the finals of that. It's just been amazing. The guys today, the finals for, and I can't remember his name, but the finals for Injustice.
Something Fox.
Yes,
Youngster,
Fox
wasn't it?
against somebody the Hut. I can't remember what his name is.
Wouldn't be Pizza the Hut, would it?
Maybe it was. Maybe it was Pizza the Hut.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they made the guy you.
I know it's a
describing
Spaceballs reference, which is why I didn't think it would be
I was
Pizza
about
the
to say,
Hut, but
that's
but I
a
think
good
it
one.
is. I think it is Pizza the Hut.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think the guy who was playing Fox was at final round. This is the person who won both Mortal Kombat and Injustice at final round this past March. In Injustice, he was using Batgirl, and we saw some really.
We were talking about
play.
this. Yeah, because you asked me, it's like, is he using Batgirl? And I said, yeah, he was using Batgirl. And you're like, it's probably this guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was using Batgirl. Anyway.
When I Googled it, it says Batgirl sweeps the Evo Injustice Grand Final.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He swept it, man.
He swept it, yeah.
This is the thing. Like, Pizza the Hut was in the winner's bracket. And Fox, we'll just call him Fox, he was in the loser's bracket. So
he's got a loss under his belt already.
So the top of the winner's bracket had to face the top of the loser's bracket. The winner gets to lose twice.
Right.
The loser only needs to lose once, and it's done. This guy, and it's best 3 out of 5.
Best 3 out of 5 rounds.
The loser swept it 6 wins in a row. He hit 3 wins as Batgirl, and so that knocked the winner into the loser's bracket. But they had to fight again because because that was it. So
that was the winner's first loss.
that was his first loss, so they had to go at it again. Beat him 3 in a row again, and took it. So that was fun to watch. I mean, there were moments, and I really, I like it to. I like when there's some tension there, when it's like, oh, this could go either way, because I have no personal investment in any of those people. As far as who's going to win, I just like to see a good match. And there were some good ones, but to see this guy have to overcome, I gotta beat this guy twice in order for me to win, and he did it without losing a single time.
Yeah.
He never lost. So that was really, really cool to watch. And that's what the fun that people talk about how boring the World Cup is sometimes because they never score. Yeah. I'm like, well,
unless you're Germany.
That was a great game.
Wasn't it?
I was rooting for Germany too.
I mean, I am not one of those people who say that the World Cup is boring at all. No, I've enjoyed every single minute of it. In fact, I think they're playing right now too, aren't they? Or is that game over with?
I think it ended. Let me look.
Yeah, it was. Which I think this is the battle for what? Battle for third place.
Yes, it is. Netherlands won over Brazil 3-0.
Wow, so the Netherlands are in third place, and then tomorrow is the final for this. So I'll have two of my monitors on the Evo channels, and then I'll have the TV on the World Cup.
Remember,
and I'll be set.
Third place is the second loser.
Yeah, I know. And I'll sit in a swivel chair so I can just spin around and watch whatever I want.
You should stream that. Have you watched
Nobody wants to see that. Definitely nobody wants to see that.
But the thing about Evo, I was about to say was that with all those competitors playing the thing, it's with 2 losses and you're out. So you got to maintain that consistent high level of play, round after round after round, and that's really something to see. Mm-hmm. Seeing folks who can do that consistently.
It was fun
for that amount of time.
It was fun watching Killer Instinct because I have not watched any other than what they've shown at E3 stuff, that sort of thing. I haven't watched any. I haven't seen any Killer Instinct stuff before. So watching that this morning was fun. Mm-hmm. I like that every year they do this. There may be another game in there that I have not seen yet.
Right.
And I have not seen played professionally, basically, to see some guys actually play the game and know what they're doing.
Yeah, top tier level skill on display. Right now.
And that is fun. That is really fun to watch and to get in. If anything, it sort of makes me want to. It sort of made me want to download Injustice and start playing it again. Mm-hmm. And it is a fun game, actually. I bought it on the Steam sale. The Here We Put Everything in It edition. Mm-hmm. And it kind of made me want to go and play that. But watching these guys do this, I'm like, I'm not going to have my matches aren't going to be near as exciting as what's going on.
Then
the
you
screen.
Start and you're like, okay, never mind.
I know.
Oh wait, they had to work to get that good.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to watch. It really is. Mm-hmm. I have not seen any other kind of competitive sports. I've seen some League of Legends. It just doesn't pull me in like a fighting tournament for some reason.
Yeah, I mean the fighting games are like, the results are going to be in quicker. Basically, League of Legends like a long drawn out RPG-ish type battle and play. Isn't that the type of game it is?
What?
League of Legends.
League of Legends? I'm not exactly sure.
It's a MOBA.
MOBA. I don't know. What is that?
Multiplayer online battle
arena. Right.
The thing is, and I understand with the whole league thing. I definitely think it's you know how people don't like watching World Cup because they don't like soccer. So whereas MOBAs, not saying you don't like them, but it's probably because you don't understand them fully, so you can't appreciate what they're doing fully.
Right. And that and that's why I say you need to watch a little bit of some of these fighting tournaments because it was easy to figure out. It was easy to watch Marvel vs. Capcom. It was easy to watch Street Fighter. It was easy to watch Injustice. It's probably easy to watch some of the ones I haven't seen yet, Blaze Blue and King of Fighters, stuff like that. Probably easy to watch those because there's a health bar that diminishes.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is completely different.
Yeah.
Their health increases. Or, well, whatever.
Damage increases.
The damage
percentage.
Increases, yeah.
And
it took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, the higher the damage, the further knockback you get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure out how that whole situation worked. I had to sit there and watch this. And I started learning the terminology that they were using and some of the ways that the game had played. I had played Smash Brothers a long time ago, and I was just button mashing then. I was like, if I can get this guy off the thing, I didn't know about health meters or anything like that. I wasn't fluent in that language.
I used to love back in the day, like 2007-8, watching Counter-Strike tournaments and stuff because those dudes, they're twitch muscles, of someone coming around the corner.
I would like to see some of that.
Their head, then you had to learn. You could only poke yourself out maybe an inch or two because you get headshot like that because everyone runs snipers,
Yeah.
And it was just bam headshot. Those people.
I'd like to watch because what I was getting into was that I've seen some League of Legends stuff, and I obviously don't understand it. I should probably watch probably get an understanding of it, and that would probably be entertaining to me. I mean, obviously, if you go to Twitch and look at the top streams, it's League of Legends, Path of Exile, it's your MOBAs that are going on. And so that might be interesting to see. And then my next thought was I'd really like to see other kind of tournaments like Counter-Strike or anything like that that's first-person shooters or anything like that I can watch some tournament play on.
I used to always enjoy watching the World of Warcraft's arena matches, the PvP. Those are always pretty cool, too.
But those are interesting to me. And it's always around this time of year when EVO starts up that I get interested in seeing more competitive play, tournament style, broadcasting type of stuff to see that and to see how it plays out. It's always interesting to me. So anyway, we got finals of that coming up. We're going to watch some of those tonight and then the finals tomorrow of EVO. So if you're interested, if it's something that kind of piques your interest or something, check it out. If it's not, still, give it a shot. See if you like it. I didn't really think that I would until I watched it. All it took was one time to watch that and see some of the stuff happen when a guy is almost out of it and then makes a comeback. And to see that kind of drama it hooked me, completely hooked me in. So, also before we took the break, we were going to talk about the train simulator guys taking over the flight simulator details. Basically, it's Dovetail Games. They worked on Train Simulator franchise. That is the same one that has $1,000 or so of DLC, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. That is not? Oh, Nate was shaking his head.
What, Train Simulator?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
I think that's the one. If you go to Steam and look up Train Simulator, there is, like when it's on sale, it's about $500 if you buy all the DLC. It's massive amount because they put in different types of trains and different. I guess I really don't know.
Yes, it is 1,000.
Yeah, it's huge.
A little over 1,000.
And they got this in a bundle pack, $1,000 bundle pack.
179 pieces of DLC altogether. Oh, geez. All the DLC together, $4,008.21. I don't know if that's several multi-packs included in that. That's just literally all the DLC available.
How many gigs are we talking about here?
Yeah, go ahead, count that up. We'll get back with you at the end of next hour.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's huge number.
It's just a ton of DLC. And while that doesn't interest me that there's a bunch of trains out there I can buy, I think it's cool that there is if you want to do that. It really gets me excited for Flight Simulator. I have not played the Train Simulator franchise. I actually own it, the Train Simulator stuff, because I picked it up on a sale. Not all the DLC. I just picked up the base game.
Yeah.
Because that was on sale for maybe $7 or $6 or something. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and buy this. And I've never spent anything on the DLC unless it was free. So I haven't purchased any of that. And I haven't played any of it. So that should be the next thing that I do is play some of that Train Simulator to see what I can expect maybe from the Flight Simulator takeover. Me and James were overwhelmingly excited to see this.
Yeah, you guys love Flight Simulator.
I love Flight Simulators. And I still got my Sidewire. I still got my, Logitech stick, my flight stick. I still have that.
We'll have to keep a running meter of how much you spend on the DLC for Flight Simulator
we'll see.
when it comes out.
We'll see what they want to do. I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting if they do something like that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you enjoy it,
yeah,
it's worth the money then. Because hearing James talk about and like other people I know talk about, oh, Flight Simulator was great. It was just all these stories coming out of it. It's like, obviously it's worth the money.
Yeah,
because you get those great stories.
So much fun to do that. And in fact, Dovetail Games, they under the terms of the agreement, they can create new Flight Simulator games, but they are also licensed to distribute Flight Simulator X on Steam, which is the flight simulator before they decided to.
That was the one that was like very much a pay to play. Is that correct?
No, that was Microsoft Flight.
Okay.
Microsoft Flight was free to play, but everything, like you got 2 planes with the free to play thing, and everything else was DLC that you had to buy to get more planes.
Okay.
If that's what you're talking about. But
Yeah,
Flight Sim X
Flight Simulator X was
a boxed game type thing that had everything in it. It was no DLC for it for when that came out, because that came out in 2006. And I believe the first DLC came out in 2005. That was the Oblivion Horse Armor. I believe that was the first DLC for that sort of thing, but I'm not sure. So yeah, 2006 Flight Simulator X on Steam. It is called Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition, and I'm not exactly sure when it's going to hit Steam, but I know James and I will both be there when it does to pick that up. So very excited about that, and very curious to see what they do with it. I can't wait to get more details on that, to find out how far they're going to take it, how it's going to look, what they're going to do. Again, I haven't seen Train Simulator, so I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, I was about to
how
ask
well they're doing with that.
Yeah, I was about to ask how well they're doing with Train Simulator.
Exactly.
Compare it to
tons of DLC does not a good game make. So, does it, how does it look? How does it play? That sort of stuff. Obviously, it's sim-related, but that can mean plenty of different things. So, let's see, what else is going on?
As far as news, plenty. Cliff Bleszinski's come out of the dark. He's back again.
He is, with a free-to-play title, right?
Yeah, Project Blue Streak, and that's all the details we know about it, is that it's something free-to-play and that name.
But not like a mobile game, right?
No, not at least.
Okay.
Not to, as far as anybody knows. I mean, no gameplay or video or nothing. It's just like, yeah, working on this title here.
So what made him leave in the first place?
I think he just departed from Epic. He was just kind of, I think it was just kind of burnt out, just kind of like done with working on Gears of War, whatever number they got up to.
Felt like he was getting stagnant, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't recall off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Okay.
But he's back again and putting out something.
Okay.
I know. And who was it that Gearbox announced a new game?
Oh, that
And
it was a MOBA. Isn't
It's a MOBA.
Battleland? Is that the name of it?
Apparently, I really need to start figuring out how MOBAs work, because that's the direction a lot of people are going. League of Legends, Nosgoth is not a MOBA, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's a MOBA?
Yeah.
See?
It's just a few people in a constrained arena, and
I know. But I still don't understand how it works.
Get experience, and then when you go to the next map, you're a little bit tougher or a little bit stronger.
Yeah. I'm sure it's very simple.
Or you can pay and be, have golden editions of all your weapons or whatever.
I think Cavalier UK told us Battleborn.
Battleborn
is the name of that game.
Yeah. And what was the, so Battleborn was a MOBA, and then was it Bethesda that announced a MOBA, or was that BioWare? It was a couple of weeks back.
I would need a title on that.
And I can't remember. But they announced one that was also a MOBA, I believe. And so now it's like I got to figure out, I really need to figure out how to play MOBAs, because apparently that's the direction people are going in with their games.
LoL's been extremely successful. Everybody wants to hop on that bandwagon.
And I've never watched enough of it to know what's going on, and I've never been interested in it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it was me. It's like, I know it's a thing.
Which isn't to say that it's not good. It's just for me to say that I have no experience with it, so I don't exactly know how it plays. It's the same, preach to the choir type situation where I'm like, hey, you should watch some fighting game tournaments because you might be interested in them. Hey, I should probably learn how to play some MOBAs, because that's all people seem to want to release lately. Nate, what was there was an announcement of another MOBA, not this past week from Gearbox, but there was one prior to that was like BioWare or Bethesda?
Bethesda Battlecry?
Battlecry, that's what it was. That was Bethesda?
Yeah, Cavalier says Battlecry, yeah, it is Bethesda.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is another MOBA.
And Crytek announces Arena of Fate.
MOBA, right?
Yeah.
God.
Oh, great. This is going to be like World War II games.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just, that's where the money's at, I suppose. I don't know.
Last of Us MOBA.
No.
Yeah, they used to tease about, the next thing they're going to do is an Uncharted game, but it's a kart racer.
That's right. Yeah.
'Cause that's what you always have to do. So
now
Jack and
it's-
Dak. Crash.
I mean, sure, more MOBAs the better. Go
Why?
nuts.
Is it? Is
I
more
wouldn't
MOBA
say it's
better?
necessarily better for us,
Well,
but
Well, it could be. I mean, like I said, I have no experience.
if it's something that's like, if it is something that's going to make them money, and we get other games aside from the MOBAs,
I mean, to me,
Sure.
this is just like MMOs. From 2006 to 2009, everyone was trying to create that next MMO to compete with.
They were
WoW.
trying to hit that WoW mark,
Everyone
yeah.
was.
And now what? They're trying to hit that LOL
that's-
mark? Is that what they're
that's
trying
my
to do?
main worry, is that they're trying to be LOL, and well, LOL is LOL. It's going like WoW is WoW.
Right.
You're not going to hit the LOL mark because you're not LOL.
Maybe that's what it is. It's every time I hear it announced, I don't get frustrated with it. I'm just like, man, I don't know anything about that, and that's so my interest kind of gets turned off on it until I more understand that type of play.
So none of you guys have played them, right?
No,
No.
I know.
I mean,
I've read a little bit about them, but I've never actually played one.
I've never played. I've never, unless I have and I didn't know it.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I
You
looked
can't
at League
not
of Legends.
know.
I wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing a MOBA.
Yeah, I never have. Then I've never played a MOBA. I have never played Dota.
Yeah, because Dota is where a lot of the springs from, right? Isn't that correct? The assumption that's correct from the old Warcraft 3 mod.
I mean, I would. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this particular
Basically,
playstyle.
yes.
I mean, like I know, like Nosgoth is like a third-person shooter almost, but it's
Yeah.
still under a MOBA.
Yeah.
MOBA.
They're fun. The best way,
Dota.
they're just something you kind of have to understand to play. They're not super hard to get into, and it's funny, when I was playing League, it's simple to play. It's easy to play, but hard to master. That's the best way to describe them. You're only hitting 5 buttons technically, but to know when to play, how to play, what to do, that's when it can be difficult. But they're fun. I would definitely say give them a try if you're bored one night.
Yeah, I mean, I need to just.
And they're free.
Exactly. I need to just to see if they're my cup of tea, because if they are, then that's great. I've got a whole nother world of gaming to experience.
Yeah.
And if they're not, then I'll know for sure
Yeah.
and can be justified in my disinterest of anything that's labeled MOBA. I do like saying the word, though. It's fun to say MOBA.
Do you play
Dota.
any MOBAs?
Dota. MOBA. Yoda. Anyway, so enough of that.
If James were
We're not
going to
get a Riot sponsorship now.
He would- yeah, he
James
would.
is having an aneurysm right now hearing this.
He's probably actually is having an aneurysm, but for a completely different reason.
Lifting Mary Poppins.
So, you brought up Crytek a minute ago, and this just happened not too long ago, earlier today. We're going to take a break here in a minute, but all we have on it is that the director
Director of Homefront: The Revolution has
departed.
supposedly left. It's not a confirmed thing yet.
Yeah.
But it just posted on I think it was on Kotaku, broke the news about an hour before we went live.
Yeah. Which is interesting to think about on that game. Now, it wasn't blowing me away when I saw it at E3. It wasn't doing anything different that I could tell, and it wasn't just, melting my face. And I was never we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when it was first announced. We talked about it, and James and I weren't fans of the first one.
Oh yes, I remember the first one had a lot of problems.
Yeah, he did not finish his. I finished mine and went through it, but whatever. It didn't last. It didn't put some memory in my head of, oh yeah, I remember that. I had to go back, and when I was reading the achievements, I was like, now it started to come into me how that game played and how that finished out. But James hated it, and I wasn't a fan of it either. I went ahead and completed it, but I was not a fan either. So to hear that they were making a sequel, it was like, okay,
Well, but Homefront was one of the ones that was sold off by
THQ, yeah.
and then Crytek picked it up.
Yeah. Now, I can't say that when a game gets a sequel that the first one was horrible and so I shouldn't be interested in the sequel. All I have to do is look at Just Cause 2 for that.
Yeah.
Just Cause first one was not a game I had any interest in, barely even touched it, and then they released Just Cause 2, and it's amazing in this silly, fun way of what it was able to do. And So I can't really discount any kind of sequels of what they're doing.
Yeah,
but
sometimes sequels redeem themselves. So
yeah, they can. They can really redeem
do it.
themselves. A lot of people would say Uncharted 2 is much better than Uncharted 1. And I would agree with them in some aspects
I
of that.
prefer Halo 2 overall.
Exactly. Halo 2 being better than Halo 1. Obviously, all of us here prefer Halo Reach to all of them, but...
Reach? I thought ODST.
I'm sorry, ODST, not Reach. ODST. To
Wow.
that. Yeah, I know. So, can't discount it yet, but that's kind of telling if that's true that the director of that game left. So, anyway, we got to take another break, and if you'd like to get in touch with us and you'd like to talk to us, why not give us a call? If you'd like to just talk to Nathan, you can also call him. His number, and ours, is 334-272-9228. That is 334-272-9228. We'll be back with more in-game chat in just a moment. Here's music from Blue Stinger. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from, what is that, Illbleed?
Oh, it'll bleed, yep.
Yeah.
Same folks made Blue Stinger.
So we had Blue Stinger.
Yeah, I was
and
sitting there, I
Illbleed.
was like, why do I hear this and I feel like sick to my stomach and hate this? Oh, wait, it'll bleed. Enjoy the game, it was just nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was. Scare moments all over the place.
I don't know anything about it. Not familiar with it at all.
Got a Dreamcast?
I do.
I have the game.
I do actually
So I
have a
can
Dreamcast.
let
Yeah,
you,
you
so
need
I can
to
let
play
you
that.
experience that, man.
Yeah. It's not hooked up, but I got one. So
We'll find some connections for you.
oh, no, I've got all the connections. Well, you know what? That's interesting. I don't know that I have a TV that has the connections that it would take anymore.
We'll find a way to get in there.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, welcome back to the show. And I'm going to go over the chat room roll call. Give people an hour to get in there. So let's see. AC Wraith. How you doing, Wraith? I need to play some pinball. I don't know that I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to try and get up early enough to where I can get my Silver Ball Sunday in and play some pinball, stream some pinball, and then watch Evo the rest of the day. Because I know I got to get that in. Not sure what table I'll play. I have an interesting pinball story to talk about next. We'll do it after we do the roll call here. Cavalier UK, Cranio Bob, I hope is how I'm pronouncing that right. Lavos is, of course, in there. DME Sleepy is in there. Cali Synth. Kulharan, I think I pronounced that wrong. Oh, I did it right. Who is that? Is that him? Okay, cool. Medusa's Mirror, who said that she's going to be going to PAX South,
Oh, excellent.
which I picked up tickets for. They went on sale, and I
then
thought,
5 minutes later,
I
they
know.
were no longer on sale.
well, no, these actually lasted. Now, the weekend badges did get sold out, the 3-day passes. Those sold out, but not near as quick as PAX East or PAX West. But the weekend badges did sell out, but I got weekend badges for that. And I already booked a hotel, and I thought, here's the thing. If I'm not going to go, I've got weekend badges. I can probably sell those without a problem. The hotel, I can cancel. I got plenty of time to cancel that, and they'll never charge me at all. So I'm good there. I'm apparently catching on to this buy it without buying it type situation. It's going to get me in trouble one day. Something's going to happen and it's going to screw up. But
You're going to forget that one item.
I know. PAX South doesn't take place until January of next year, so I got plenty of time to think this over if I'm going to go or not. But the hotel's booked and the tickets are bought, so that's all taken care of at least. Who else is in the chat room? We've got Pure Tricks. I'll just say that's what that is, not Pure 3 Tricks, but Pure Tricks. STM Fuller is in the chat room. Stufu is hanging out there. 3 Blades and W. Matthew hanging out with us as well. If you'd like to hang out in the chat room, just head on over to twitch.tv, look for in-game chat, and you can join the chat room with everybody else. So we always appreciate it when you guys show up for the live shows, and it's always great to have you guys here. So thank you very much. Yes, Pure Tricks, you can call us. We are actually in a radio station. We are live on FCC monitored terrestrial FM radio right now. Local folks know us. We're on WACV FM 93.1. And you can call us. 334-272-9228 is the number. It's a long-distance call. We do not have an 800. We have an 800 number, but it's only if you're within the state that you can use it. We're...
Good old landlines.
Yeah, exactly. So... you can Skype in, whatever you want to do. So give us a call, 334-272-9228. So welcome back to the show. A couple of things I wanted to talk about before I went into the interesting story on some pinball was the Alien Isolation DLC.
Yeah, they've...
there was a big hubbub over this.
Well, it's because they announced, it's only available for pre-orders. But it is basically 2 scenarios that take place during Alien the movie.
Yeah, but you get to play as the cast.
Yes. The first one, you get a choice between 3 of the characters, including Ripley. And the second one is just Ripley's escape from the Nostromo.
Right.
But they did come back and say later, Sega said, it's pre-order DLC, you only get it with the pre-order. But they're like, no, we are going to release this later, not right away with everything else. But we will eventually just have it as DLC you can just buy and download. Mm-hmm. Which, that's fairly standard as far as pre-order DLC goes.
Yeah,
it is.
But there was a lot of people upset about that, don't do pre-orders.
Yeah, because originally it was just like nothing but, it's just pre-order DLC. You got to pre-order to get it.
Yeah.
And because I think Sega was the one that announced it, and then the developer came out and said, no, we're going to do this right, not just for pre-orders.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that it's there, but there's a lot of people who have this kind of sparked the topic of pre-orders need to die a horrible death and go away, or maybe pre-order DLC needs to die a horrible death and go away. I'm not sure, but it's never going to go away. It's not.
There's going to be some kind.
I mean, didn't we? There was a story about GameStop already getting in the middle of.
Well, there was a thing. GameStop basically saying, we want to look at getting more exclusive content for us. They want more GameStop, pre-order GameStop and get this exclusive thing you can only get at GameStop. And the wording on the original announcement was it was a bit ambiguous as to what they meant by that. So a lot of people assume it's they're going to start influencing the game's direction and the creative story and everything. That's what they want because it's GameStop, man. And GameStop had to come out later and say, no, we just want to make deals for extra content so we can sell more games at GameStop.
Right.
Which...
because, they're running into... Huh?
Remember Walmart did this a while back with Mortal Kombat. I remember certain outfits were available if you bought it from Walmart, and I think there was some for GameStop as well. It's just
that's the thing.
Yeah, and GameStop CEO said, we'd be crazy to try to influence creative decisions on a game. It's we just want their business. They want to make money, and that's one of the avenues to do so.
buy from us, get this. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. You're still going to get the game regardless.
I'm watching comments scroll through in the chat room. W. Matthew says pre-orders do need to die. I mean, I agree. Well, look, pre-order bonuses need to die, but pre-orders are always going to be there for you to go in, put your money down, or whatever. God, they've been doing that forever. It was nice and like you could pre-order. Here you go, pre-order to get into the Destiny beta.
Yeah.
Pre-order the game to get into the beta.
Early access now is getting kind of that same thing. It's like, everybody's pushing up against that as well.
Early access. I get the idea behind it. I hate it. It turns me off. Anytime I see a game that I'm interested in and I click on Steam to go buy it, and it's got that big blue early access, I back away. I back away from that. I don't want to touch that. I just don't. Every time I see, it's not Prison Simulator. What's it called? Prison Architect?
Yeah, Prison Architect.
Not Prison Simulator. That's just,
I mean,
that's funny to me. I don't know why. Prison Simulator.
Start
That's
working
funny.
on that.
Yeah, I mean, it varies from town because State of Decay was early access originally, but there was that whole hubbub a couple weeks ago about Steam early access being like, well, they'll never have to leave early access. It was just a change in their terms on what early access constitutes on Steam. So I remember there was a big rigmarole about that. But as far as pre-orders go, I don't know something will replace them if they went away. I don't know if it would be something better or worse though. There would be something where something exclusive will be given out in some manner.
All right, I'm kind of on Callie Synth's side here, is that pre-orders are fine. It's the 1,000 different pre-order bonuses split among all the different retailers.
Yeah, when you have like an entire matrix for like the Watch Dogs release as to what content comes with what package in what country in what individual store, what's in the Fred's package for Watch Dogs or whatever, wherever they're selling.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand that. That really bothers me. It also really bothers me if it's any kind of bonus to the player, if it's got any kind of advantage of that person having something over. Like when you say costume skins and stuff like that, that's fine. If it's a what do we call them? If it's a cosmetic situation, sure, whatever. If it's like, oh, you get to play, if you buy it from Walmart, your guy has a big smiley face through the whole thing.
Yeah, but
sure.
it's when you get like into extra missions and here's this content that
Or bonus weapons or something.
yeah, bonus extra weapons. Something gives you a bit of advantage in the game. It's kind of like,
Which I haven't seen that lately. The only thing I've seen that with is console-specific exclusives.
Yeah.
PS4 almost all the time gets an extra level or something for Assassin's Creed. And there's still that case, and I still like to bring this up because so many people said, oh, that'll be released for everybody afterwards.
Yeah.
The Joker challenge maps in Batman Arkham Asylum are still only on the PS3. Where you play as the Joker?
Yeah.
That's still only on the PS3.
Huh.
That was never released on Xbox 360 or on PC that I know of. Could have been on PC, but I'm not sure. But as far as I know, it never went past. It never got off the PlayStation 3 system. So,
check G-Chat.
no, I see it. Yeah, no, we're good. So let me bring that up. What is this?
Instant Miller.
Instant Miller. Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's go to the phones. We have somebody on the phones right now who decided to call in. Instant Miller is on the line. Hey, man, where are you calling us from?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you calling in. What's up?
Nothing much. I just like Batman Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight?
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I hate it got delayed. It was supposed to come out in October, but now it looks like it's going to be next year sometime. People are pointing at February, but we don't actually have a release date yet. So,
yeah, you guys got my name wrong. It's Vincent with a V. Vincent Miller.
Vincent.
Vincent Miller.
Vincent Miller, okay.
Well, our apologies, man. So, what have you been playing recently?
Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto and Black Ops. main 3 games that I'll be playing.
Dude, I was in Target yesterday, and I passed by the book section, and there are 2 Minecraft books.
Yes, I have the Essential Handbook one.
There was the Essential Handbook, and then there was one about the stones, I think.
Yes.
The Redstone Handbook or something like that.
That's
Red.
the electrical material in Minecraft.
Yes, it makes makes everything work.
Well, we appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, and I'm on Xbox 360 right now with my friend Trey. That's my friend Trey. We're playing on the Xbox. We play on Minecraft together, trying to make our own city.
Oh,
and,
excellent.
What's your name? Fumis? He told me to call you guys.
Well, that's great. He should call us too. But thanks for calling in. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for listening too.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you guys too.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
If you would like to join the fun, you can, 334-272-9228. Going back to pre-orders and DLCs, early access stuff, like I said, I'm not a fan of early access. I don't like the way that works. I bought an early access game for my Oculus Rift. It was something called Snow. And it was broke beyond all repair. It was horrible. Now, I'd like to go back in it because I've seen it update through Steam a few times, and I'd like to go back in and see if it's been fixed, but I don't have hope for it. But it has turned me off on the early access stuff. So,
it just depends. It varies from title to title. State of Decay was early access.
But it's not anymore.
No, it's not.
And I own it.
And it was very quickly out of early access, if I remember correctly.
Well, it was early. State of Decay was early access on Steam.
Yeah, but it had already been out on Xbox 360.
But it had already been released on the 360. Yeah. So that was a sense of here's already been proven. And the only reason it was in the early access was, I think, for either keyboard or controller support.
Yeah, because they only had controller support working on
So
Steam.
it had to go under the banner of early access because they were still working on that. I remember talking to one of the people at PAX or something, and it was still when I talked about the early access thing, she was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. That's only because we're working on." Yeah, we did an interview with them.
Yeah,
they said that's only because we're trying to do the controller support. It was either controller or keyboard. I can't remember what they were trying to work on.
I think they had controller support, and
they were trying to
get keyboard and mouse
support. Yeah, that was the only reason it had the early access tag, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of an example of, and Kylie Smith mentions in the chat room where Minecraft is the early access that is the exception that proves the rule, as far as
true
something coming out of early access that's good and working.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, it's a way for retailers to make money. They barely make any money on brand new games. So, the way that whole thing works is, and it doesn't, see, here's the difference though. I can pre-order a game on Amazon and they don't take my $5.
Well, you can also, for console owners, they can pre-order through PSN or Xbox Live.
Don't you pay though?
Yeah, you end up paying, but you have it there. You didn't have to go to a store at all.
And if you cancel on PSN, you don't get your money back.
Yeah, you can't cancel though.
Yeah.
No.
See, I can't cancel a pre-order on Steam.
Oh yeah,
or maybe I can. I don't know.
You're talking about like doing some funny business then with the Amazons.
No,
but,
I'm not. Actually, no,
not
I'm
funny
not.
business, but it's like it's.
I'm not. I'm actually pre-ordering the game, and then maybe I decide later that I don't want it.
Yeah, you don't. But you're not having to give up your money right away.
I'm not having to give up any money whatsoever. Whereas if I go to a GameStop or any other kind of store like that, I got to put at least $5 down on a game. Now I can get that money back if I decide not to. I really don't know. It's been forever since I pre-ordered. But already, that's $5 out of my pocket. It's $5, but it's $5 out of my pocket. Whereas if I pre-ordered from Amazon, they don't charge until they ship, and so I didn't spend any money. And I'm not talking about doing the Destiny beta thing where you give me the code, I cancel my pre-order. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about regular pre-ordering. You can do that through Amazon without spending a dime, unless you decide to actually go through with the purchase. So.
Okay.
there's that aspect as well. So, but if you do it digitally, your money's gone. Steam. I don't think they do refunds on that stuff when you do a pre-order.
Don't think so.
They're really sticklers about that pre-order stuff, or about giving your money back whatsoever. So, so you can't do it there either. Amazon seems like the safe bet to go with something like this. So, anyway, we're going to take our next break here, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you about a thing with some pinball stuff. I've got an interesting idea of some things I'm going to be doing, but I'll tell you about that. We've got that coming up, and of course, if you guys call in, feel free to do so. 334-272-9228 is the number. That is 334-272-9228. We'll be back in just a moment. This is one of Nate's tracks. He gave it to us. This is Battlefield 2. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Fitting for EVO this weekend. That is music from Killer Instinct. That was in 64, right?
It did come out in 64 eventually. It was meant to be their flagship title first in the arcades, and then it'll be the Ultra 64's platform, and then it wasn't. I think it came out in N64 like a few years into its life, actually.
Yeah, and we talk about that. We talked about last week, we talked about how when I was getting into gaming, I skipped. Yeah, I don't know what that happened. When I was getting into gaming, I skipped the N64 PlayStation days and the Dreamcast days. I had a Genesis and a SNES, and then I didn't have anything until PS2 and Xbox and GameCube. So I missed a full generation of gaming there. And in fact, that's one of the stories that I kind of wish Nathan was here last week to tell us about his personal experience with past games. I mean, did you listen to last week's episode at all?
I did, and I know the part you're talking about.
Yeah.
When you guys...
So where did it start with you?
From the very beginning?
Well, I mean,
okay.
You're young, so you don't have to go back as far as we did.
It's very true. When I was 3, my mom used to babysit this kid, and he had a N64, and there was a Power Rangers game on there. And me and him used to play that all the time.
What? So you started with N64?
Yes.
Wow.
I was 3.
Wow.
3 or 4. I think I was 4, actually. Yeah, I was 4. And then my dad got a Sega Genesis. And
Wait, what?
But I got a Sega Genesis later on.
What? Okay. Well, that's just weird, because N64, was after the Genesis.
Yeah.
So I guess you just picked up a...
Well, I mean, honestly, no one in my family played games,
Okay.
honestly. Like, the only people that did was my 2 uncles. They played computer games. So later on, he got a Genesis. This was way later on. And we used to play RoboCop vs. Terminator. And it was one of my favorite games. And then later on, I don't even know how old I was. Then I got a PS1 for Christmas. And my very first game was Lucky Luke. And that was a great game.
Lucky Luke?
Yeah, Lucky Luke.
All right.
You have to look it up. Then we got Twisted Metal, 1, 2, and 3. And what happened was meet my friend next door. If I didn't have the console, then he'd get the other console. And so we kind of traded off throughout the years. So if I didn't have one thing, he got the other.
Have you ever owned a Nintendo?
No, I have not. Because he owned all the Nintendo. Because later on, besides the kid that I very first started when I was 4, then he got the other Nintendo. So, like, I've played, me and him, we've played the Crash Bandicoots, the GoldenEye.
Yeah.
So I've played all of them, but I never personally owned them.
Yeah.
And my dad still has his Atari that still works, 2600. Which he can't beat me in anything, but he can beat the crap out of me on Atari. So, and then, playing PlayStation 1, then eventually got a PlayStation 2. And used to play a ton of Madden when it was good. And then right after PlayStation 2, I kind of switched to PC at that time. Because we got our first computer. And dial-up. I had the good old dial-up. And we switched to that, and I started playing games on then. And that's when Battlefield 1942 came out. I started playing that. I was just amazed that you could get in a vehicle in a video game. Like, you could get out of the vehicle, get in it. It was crazy. And so then I pretty much stuck with PC for a while, and then I didn't get a PlayStation 3 until 3 or 4 years after they had been out. I didn't have any console besides my PlayStation 2. My other friend had a 360, so we would play that, but I didn't play anything. And then went back, and then I've just really switched back and forth from console from there. But yeah, I've played a good portion.
Man, but it started with N64 with you.
Yeah.
When you were 3.
Yep.
How long had the N64 been out?
I'll look up the date. Let's see.
Hell, just tell. What year were you born?
92.
Man. Man.
You have that I feel old look on your face.
It's one of those. And we talked about that on the show that I'm part of during the week. We talked about feeling old and that sort of thing. How, God, next year's 2015. That's when...
it had to be not the...
That's when Marty
it
went
had to be the SNES.
into the future from Back to the Future 2. He arrived at 2015. And we're about to be there already.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I said that wrong. It was SNES, not N64.
Okay.
Which is even older, so...
Yeah,
because the SNES came out in 91.
Yeah.
N64 didn't come out until 96.
Okay, so you were mistaken on that
Yeah.
one. All right. But yeah, man. Anyway.
Is that why you wanted to know my story?
Yeah, I was just curious. So DJCU3 in the chat room wants us to talk about Arma 3 and about its early access. And we've told him in the chat room that we can't... none of us have any experience to speak of it. I haven't played it. Have you played it?
I played Arma 2.
You played Arma 2, right.
Yes. And I know about all of its bugs.
Right. And that Arma 3, I haven't heard anything negative about Arma 3 that I heard about Arma 2.
No, that game looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Exactly. Yeah, I have it. But I haven't played it. Yeah.
What?
Well, you know me. Well, maybe you don't. You know me. I have 500 and some odd games on my Steam account. I have played probably 12. I'm working on it.
That's not an exaggeration, by the way.
No, it's really not. It's
not.
the best number that I could come up with. But yeah, so he wanted to talk about that, and I was like, and so we can't. Look, we're not going to sit here and talk about something that none of us have played. But we're also not going to talk about something that we also have never played either.
I will gladly.
It's got the 4-letter thing, so it fits in with our MOBA and Dota.
It doesn't come out as well.
Arma.
I will gladly play it on your account and review it for him.
That's about all we got.
Yeah. Anyway, he wanted us to give a shout out to Dro Money. He's the best Arma player ever, so I thought we would do that. Why not? He's watching our show. He does that for us. Why can't we do that for him? So there you go.
We give back to our viewers.
Yeah. I also want to give a comment to a friend of ours over on COG, who's got a Patreon page up, and he recently lost his job, so he's really trying to do this whole video game thing. He was doing it on the side, and then he lost his job, and so I'd like you guys to support him. Karak is his name, and he's got Angry Centaur Gaming. That is his website. That's his YouTube channel, Angry Centaur Gaming. And he does reviews, he does podcasts, stuff, all sorts of stuff. And he's trying to do more of it, and he's trying to get people support. So please check out his channel. I think he's got a Twitch channel, but I know he's definitely got a YouTube channel.
I posted it in chat.
Okay, wonderful. But it's Angry Centaur Gaming. Karak, I hope that things go well for you. I hope this is successful for you. We're all pulling for you. And can't wait to see what you do next. So I wanted to get that in there real quick. All right, so this pinball thing. We talked about, and maybe I talked about this already. I just don't think I talked about it on the show.
I think we talked about it after the show. You were talking about something about a digital pinball table.
Yeah. I'm going to build one, I think. My uncle has a pinball machine. Mm-hmm. I do not remember what the name of it is. I really should. As much as pinball is a part of me, I really should know this. It was a game that I used to have in my house when I was, about Nate's age in 92. No.
Back in them days.
Back when I was growing up, I had a pinball machine in my house. Made all the clanky clangs. Noisemakers. Anyway, no, I had a pinball machine in my house. And I can't remember what it was, if it was Williams or Bally. It was Viking themed, and it was very old. So it didn't have a bunch of ramps. It didn't have any of the stuff that you see on your modern tables today. It didn't have anything you had on your modern tables in probably the late 80s, early 90s either. So he's got a table. It does not work. It would probably take nothing to get it fixed. But he said, even if I got it fixed, it'd probably sell for about $500. And I was like, look, can I have it? Can you just give it to me? And he's like, sure, we'll do that. We got to figure out how to get a pinball machine from Birmingham, which is an hour and a half away, over to my house. But we figure out how we can do that. So I've started doing the research on this, on what I can do. And apparently I got to gut the thing. I got to take everything out of it, which I'm totally fine with doing. And then I place some size of flat screen TV in the playfield. And then another some size flat screen TV for the back glass. And then another some size flat screen TV for the DMD, the dot matrix display that some tables had. Once I do that, I have to buy some PC parts and build a PC. Not anything extravagant. That goes in the body of the pinball table and connects to these 3 screens that will display the play field, the back glass, and then the dot matrix display if it supported that. Then all I have to do is put Steam on there, and I can play Pinball Effects. I can play Pinball Arcade. There is a thing called Virtual Pinball. And Nate, if you could look this up, go to YouTube and see if you can find Virtual Pinball. Basically, it's Hyperpin or something like that, I think is what it's called. I can have one pinball table in the house, but I can have like 150 playfields on that table.
Interesting.
And I can scroll through them and pick a table. They've got a huge library of real world tables. These are real world actual tables that you can play.
You should look at the picture I posted in chat.
And
Let me look at that. No, go ahead.
So is this 3 TVs essentially?
Basically, yes.
And plus, I can't.
That is not what my machine's going to look like. A cardboard box. No, but that playfield is very, very similar to what it would look like. The playfield is.
Well, and we discussed this. It was the Telltale had something like this set up for their.
They did,
Walking Dead game.
and I made friends with the guy, and he was doing an E3 special, and he said he would honor the discount, and I was really considering it.
Would you say it is Hyper Pinball Table?
Hyperpin or virtual pinball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Three Blades. That is Monster Bash. Isn't it? Isn't it great? See, this is what happens when James is not here. I'm just going to go nuts and talk pinball. Every show is going to be talking pinball. Welcome to Talking Pinball, formerly known as In-Game Chat. TP. That's what we'll be called.
Oh, boy.
That could be the show after this one.
Scott's gone by. RJ, you got anything left?
Yeah, really.
I can
No.
phone call to James. I might be able to do
Yeah. Ha-ha, he's not here. So, no, but it's going to be tough. I mean, obviously I'm not jumping into this right now. There's a lot I got to do, and I'm still doing my research on it.
Well, yet you have a lot of pre-orders you have to consider as well.
Yeah. Well, no, you get those on Black Friday. You find those, but see, that's the thing. The TVs that I need don't need to be anything really special.
Yeah, you don't need like the latest HD 3D. You just need
I just need a nice display that's I haven't done the measurements on it.
I did find one. I'll post it in chat. The guy has his table set up and everything with the TV, and he has it where it has force feedback.
Yeah, you can
pretty
do that
neat.
too. You can do that as well. There's some. I'm looking into this, and I haven't looked too deep into it, but I would like something that's got force feedback. I would like something that can simulate the knocker sound whenever you get a free game. Unfortunately, the table that I'm getting from my uncle did not have that feature.
Well, I imagine you want something in there like to simulate tilt as well.
You can put that in there. Some motion sensing type stuff. I don't use tilt.
Yeah.
Or I don't use nudge. I don't use nudging. I've never gotten the finesse of that down. So whenever I play a game, I just never nudge. So I'm not worried about that being in there.
Okay.
But I would like the force feedback of when I hit a flipper, I get that feeling of
that feeling of resistance when you're
that
pressing that
part
button.
moving in the machine.
Yeah.
And the ball kind of moving on the playfield a little bit. But yeah, I would like to look that up as well and get those things. It's going to be a very long, drawn out process.
I found a link and I sent it to you. It's virtual pinball forums.
Yeah, no, I've got all that.
Oh,
I've got all that. I just wanted you to find something that you should put in the chat room for people
a video.
for people to kind of see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I posted one.
Yeah, especially when you bring up the table menu, and it's like a scroll thing. You can just scroll through, and it's got titles. I mean, every table you can think of. There are 2 distinct Indiana Jones tables that I'm looking forward to playing. There's the greats, the Addams Family tables. Twilight Zone is another one. I've already got those on Pinball Arcade, but to have them in that form. Plus, you can get some of the newer tables. I mean, pinball tables go for about $5,000 per table. You can go to Amazon right now and find the Transformers table from Stern. It's like $5,000, maybe $6,000. The Avengers table, like it's massive amounts of money to play pinball, to own a pinball machine. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult around here to find a place to go play them. There's not very many places.
I'll say I know of a convention out in Arizona that happens once a year.
Yeah, there's conventions. There's plenty of pinball museums. They're way away from me, which would be great to have. And likely, if I lived in any of those areas that had stuff like this, I probably wouldn't be as interested in doing this. But this is something that I called him up and I said, can I have that? And he, mulled it over pretty quick and said, sure. And I told him what I wanted to do to it. He's like, well, that sounds great. Yeah, sure. You can have this table. So, that's the first step. And now I'm going to have to do my research and figure out all the other things that need to go on.
Lots of research, lots of tinkering.
A lot of tinkering. A lot of stuff that I've never dipped my toe in whatsoever. I got to figure out how to wire physical buttons into a computer so that when I press a button, it does that control on the screen. I got to figure out how all that works.
I'll say you have an idea? Have you done custom fighting controllers at all?
I mean,
RJ?
not like quite. I mean, I was thinking along the lines of maybe a control board that you could solder and wire.
Yeah, I'm
things
going to have to
like
learn
that, too.
soldering. I'm going to have to learn. I got to do all that stuff because I've got to make these connections. I've got to hook up LEDs to the machine so that lights come on when they're supposed to come on the table. They'll come on the playfield and the back glass because the software is built that way to make that happen. But if I want anything else to happen to the table itself, I gotta build all that stuff. I gotta work that stuff in there. So I'm really excited to do it. It's a huge undertaking, and it's something that it's a little bit intimidating, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I had looked up something, the best pinball tables since the 80s, and out of 25,000 votes, the one that got the most was the Twilight Zone table.
That's
1993.
what I figured it was Twilight Zone. I remember seeing that in the old Diamond Gyms.
Number 2 is Theater of Magic.
Yeah. Theater of Magic I've played. I've got that on the Pinball Arcade as well. STM Fuller said, yeah, you're probably talking about enough money that you could just buy one outright. No, not at all. Look, okay, these sorts of tables you can buy pre-built with a computer in them and everything else. You can buy them outright for about the cost of a regular pinball machine. $5,000, $6,000, something like that. This is not going to cost me anywhere near that. This will cost maybe around $1,000. It depends on the prices I get on these TV monitors that I'm looking at, which I haven't even started looking at them because I don't know sizes yet.
Yeah, on eBay right now, this one comes with 33 games preloaded, and it's $5,500.
Yeah.
And
So
Zen Studio games tables.
Yeah. Exactly. So it would already be the cost of a table itself, and this is going to be nowhere near that cost. It would be if I had to go find a table that I was going to gut, but I already have one, and that cost me nothing to get that, except for however I'm going to get it down to the house. That's about it. So, yeah, I see this as being a better way to go. I just got to be able to do it. So, Endless Platypus says, yeah, finding out how to wire the buttons to the computer could be a little more of a problem than learning to solder. Yeah, it is. It's going to be an issue. So I'm curious. STM Fuller says, wonder if you could build one with a 3D display. Interesting enough, go to YouTube and look up, it's not 3D pinball, maybe 3D virtual pinball. It's actually got a name, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a glasses off 3D effect for the table. It's fascinating to look at. I don't know how many tables support that, and I don't know really how to go about that. I'm not looking for something like that, but it's nice to know that it's there. But I can't remember. I found it doing some searches for virtual pinball. I found something called 3D pinball, and they would move the camera, and you would see the track go behind another object that was on the play field. It was really interesting to see. So that does exist.
I posted a video in chat, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I almost can't tell if it's real or not. It looks...
Isn't it tough to... well, let's see. It may be one that I've seen.
It's Addams Family.
The 3D BAM. Yeah. That's it.
Wow, that's trippy.
Isn't it? Look at that. The playfield looks horrible, but...
It looks real. Wow.
I don't know.
That's fairly impressive. Yeah, definitely check this out.
Yeah, that's a 3D...
Yeah, there's
3D
at times when
table.
you can tell it's fake, but then there's other times where it's...
Yeah. That's fascinating to see. Oh, anyway. Should stop watching videos and actually get back to the broadcast.
We're a radio show. Nobody can see this.
Anyway.
Believe us.
So we got about 10 minutes left. Do we have anybody new? Endless Platypus showed up in the chat room. Do we have anybody new that showed up? Let's see. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Oh, no. Cray has issues. That's easy to read. For a minute there, I thought it was really going to throw me off, but Cray has issues in the chat room. Endless Platypus joined us in the chat room. So thank you guys for joining us. We've only got a few more minutes left in the show. Anything coming up that people are going to be looking forward to playing? Anything?
Wayward Manor.
Wayward
That's
Manor
releasing this week.
is coming out this week. We didn't talk about it on the show. We've talked about it off the show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Wayward Manor is the Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman's working on video game and is releasing. You can pre-order it on the Humble Bundle.
There you go. You can pre-order it.
Yeah, $10.
Go ahead and pre-order it.
No exclusive content that I know of. But
No, not that I'm aware of either, but we were actually in talks with these guys. This game was supposed to come out in October of last year, and we were in talks with them, and it got delayed, trying to get them for an interview. The guys who were doing the development on this are the Odd Gentlemen, who did PB Winterbottom.
Yeah, PB Winterbottom. I remember that one.
Which is another freaky title with how it did its gameplay. So that does release this week.
Magic 2015 is one I'm looking forward to because not only they've included their previous Duels of the Planeswalker releases haven't allowed a truly custom deck, and this is the first one that's going to allow that with the cards you.
That's what I heard. I don't play card games, but that interested me.
Yeah, and it's also got several cards that have been designed by various video game developers, like Richard Garriott and Ed McMillan have cards in there. I think Rob Pardo from WoW has it in there as well. But it's also got. They were called back in the day Magic the Puzzling. They in there when they had print publication back in those days before we had the internet.
Back in the day,
they had in the Duelist. They had these sections called Magic Puzzling, where it was like you have these cards on the table. This is what's in your hand. It's your turn. You have to win this turn. And it was always usually using the cards in a way that they aren't normally used for. Like sometimes you had to damage yourself to cause a particular effect to happen to win the game, or something like that. And all of the Duels of Planeswalkers have those puzzles in there. So I always look forward to when those releases. Usually a good 5 to 10 extra puzzles to play, and that's worth the $10 it costs for me.
Yeah. Something else. Oh yeah, Destiny beta comes out this week.
Oh yeah, it's a little known thing. It's
that
not
little
like
thing
it's,
called Destiny.
Not like it's been selling a ton of pre-orders or nothing, or
Yeah. There's that. I've still got to finish up Sniper Elite 3. I feel like I'm so close to finishing it up, but man, I got a plan when I start to play that, because it's like a level takes. When you're being patient about it, man, a level takes a good 3 or 4 hours to finish.
You don't even realize it.
You don't.
That's
You
the best
don't.
part.
And I'm so OCD about I need to make sure. I did this in the mission previous, where you had to find the guy who had hurt his hand to take out. Now that entire level, I took before I even got to that part. I took out every single guy in the level.
Me too.
I could just walk around that place and find out I could just walk, run, whatever. There was nobody there to bother me. And I love that. So I'm going through Mission 5 doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Making sure all the guys are gone. Trust me, the levels never finish with the main objective that you start with. There's always this, once you finish that main objective, either one or two more things are added to your mission to have to finish.
Yeah, something just pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So with this one, where I'd cleared everybody out, the 3 generals came in, and I had to tail one of them until he got the information. Then I had to take him out and get the information off of him.
Imagine not clearing that whole place when you had to tail them.
I know.
It'd have been.
Oh my God.
That wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah. So once I took him out and got the information, once I took him out, another guy showed up. I took him out. Then I took out the 2 other generals who were on the field and cleared it out again. Then a tank showed up. Once I took the information off of him, that triggered the tank entrance, and I had to take out the tank before I could leave. Well, again, thankfully, I'd already cleared the level out, so it was just finding the path that the tank took, lay down a mine and some dynamite next to it, and blow it up as it came across.
I meant to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
On that mission, there's a sniper spot in the tower. Has a little take out the post. There's a shot that I redid it twice.
Is it the long shot?
I don't know if it's the long shot, because I recorded myself. I meant to load it on YouTube, and I was going to show it to you. When I take this guy out, it doesn't even give me any credit for how long his distance was. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be shooting at him.
Well, you'll always know. The long shot always takes place because the guy that you're aiming for is usually outside of the map.
Yeah,
He's on a place that you can't get to in the regular
yeah,
map.
and I'm pretty sure this is the long shot. But twice when I did it, it gave me a kill, but it gave me no points. It was really weird.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, even once you take out the tank, then a third objective happens, and snipers show up out of nowhere, apparently, because I've already cleared this place, so where did they come from?
They were sleeping.
Yeah, I don't...
They had night shift.
Where? I had already... In a bunker I couldn't get to, apparently. But yeah, 2 snipers show up, and I have to take them out, which, again, thankfully, after clearing the level, it was easier to do. So... that's pretty much going to be my way from here on out, is make sure all the level is clear so that I have no problems whenever they throw anything else after me. So anyway, we got to go. We got some Evo to watch. I want to thank everybody in the chat room who showed up tonight. And I will do another roll call just so you guys can hear your name again. AC Wraith, Cavalier UK, Cranio Bob, Cray Has Issues. Whoever Cray is, dude's got some issues. Lavos, Endless Platypus, Calicynth, Kulharin. Kulharin. Medusa's Mirror, STM Fuller, Stufu, 3 Blades. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight and watching the show. We really do appreciate it. We love it when you guys show up for the live show. And hopefully you'll show up next week for the live game streaming that we're going to do after the show is over. But after this show, we're going to go watch some Evo. So... thanks, everybody, for joining us, and thanks, everybody, listening on the stream or even on the radio. Thanks to everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. We really appreciate it. Check out ingamechat.net. You can join us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at colonyofgamers.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Twitch channel. And if you're on Steam, we got a Steam group that you can join up with us over there and play games with us and other listeners as well. Don't forget to check out Angry Centaur Gaming and support what Karak is doing over there. And don't forget to join us next week. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next Saturday. Here is music fitting from Killer Instinct 2.